Hey there, I'm going to walk you through how you can design a repeating pattern all on Canva, and then how you can add that repeating pattern to a variety of all over print products on Printify. So let's get started. First, we're going to head into Canva. Now when you go into Canva, if you go up to here to create a design, you're going to want to design a file that is square. I typically like to do 5,000 by 5,000 pixels just because that's fairly large. So when you scale it into Printify's Design Studio, regardless of how large you make it, it's usually still has a pretty high DPI when you enlarge a 5,000 by 5,000 pixel design. And like I said, a square is a great place to start when creating a repeating pattern. So our first step is to fill our canvas with design elements or text or something that's going to relate to our niche. So let me see what I can find on Canva Elements and we'll go from there. So if you are new to Canva and this is not popped out, you will have just a plain screen right here with your design file right in the middle of your screen. If you go over to your left sidebar, you'll be able to click on a variety of different icons, select elements, and then in the search bar you can search for basically any kind of image or text or quote, anything that you can really think of. You might be able to find it on Canva's element library. So first I'm going to search for bearded dragons. Now when it comes to selecting elements, when you create any sort of design on Canva, you are legally allowed to use the designs that you create as long as you create something that is unique to your design. So I cannot just select one image and call it a day. That is not legally okay in Canva terms. I'll link down below Canva's like legalese and all their terms and stuff, and they wrote a blog post that's on their website, and I'll link it down below and you can go through just their terms, what they consider to be good in the eyes of keeping your designs legal while you're using Canva. So in order to use this element, I would have to add another element to it or change this element in some way or add text to it in some way that would make it its own unique design. In Canva's eyes, I now am the owner of this design and I can use this design however I wish. If I want to put it on my own shirts or use it for print on demand, I can do that legally because I created my own unique design. This also comes into the play of, whether you have a free account versus a paid account. With a free account, you are only able to use free elements. So this element right here is not for Canva free users, and you can kind of distinguish which elements are free and which are for Canva Pro by this little crown that is by each element. Now, just scrolling through here, there are a lot, if not mostly, pro elements. So to help you weed out the pro elements from the free elements, on the up search bar right here, if you go to these lines and dots and select that, scroll down and you can select under the little price drop down either free or pro. So if we select free, that's going to show us all of the elements that are in Canva, free to use, that still fall under this bearded dragon category. Now, looking through here, it's not an actual bearded dragon that's popping up. It's just like dragons with beards. So we could do something with that. But also in terms of using Canva elements, if you are creating a design in Canva and then using that design in a print-on-demand product, you have to have Canva Pro. There's no way around it. You can create designs with free elements and put them on products that you are not selling, but like you want for yourself. That's totally fine. But you have to, essentially, your Canva Pro subscription is like mini licenses, and if you're not paying for the licenses to use the elements or the text or the fonts or whatever, you're really not legally able to then make a profit off of these elements or texts that you're using. So if you want to utilize Canva in your print-on-demand business, you need to be paying for Canva Pro. If you want to try Canva Pro for 30 days free, I have a link down in my description. I think it's really worth it for $15 a month. I use Canva every day for every aspect of my business. I do not create designs, but I utilize their fonts, and I also use Canva in my day-to-day business through marketing and social media posts, creating videos, creating visual and text overlays that go on videos. So I utilize Canva every day in my business. There's also, as a pro member, you're able to schedule posts, and there's a lot of really cool apps. Like I make all my mock-ups on Canva. So yeah, Canva Pro. If you want to try it, you can. It's linked down below. You get a 30-day free trial. After that, it's $15 a month. But if you use it in your print-on-demand business and you make one sale that earns you a profit of $15, you just paid for a whole month of Canva Pro. So think of it that way. And like any business, you need to invest in your business, and Canva is an investment that you need to make. So let's continue our design. I'm going to stick to bearded dragons, and I'm going to use pro elements on this design. And the style I'm kind of going for, I'm not sure. Let me see. I like the style of this guy. I think he's cute. And there's like a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to kind of just select them, move them around a little bit. Make them look like they're, you know, in a little group. They're in a little group, having a good old time. Change the sizing of some of them a little bit. I think I want to put this guy up on top, please. Thank you. This red one, I want to put him somewhere. Okay, so when you are creating a repeating pattern in Canva, most of these elements need to be very close to the edge, but not going over the edge. Otherwise, when you go to repeat your pattern, it's not going to show up on the other side. Unless you duplicate the element equally on both parts as if it was already going to be repeating. So I'm gonna duplicate this little guy, put half of his body down here, and I know it's half because these red lines show up to kind of tell me, hey, that's half of the design right there. And these lines right here show me that these elements are matched up. So I'm gonna move this other part of this design halfway up, and I want to make sure that's duplicated like that. Okay, worst case is it didn't work and I have to make some adjustments in my design, but I think that will be okay. I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy right here. Actually, first, I don't know what if I want to do half. I think half will just be easier. Okay. Duplicate and then move him right here. See how these 3 lines show up? That shows me that it's absolutely equal. And I think that's equal. There we go. Okay, so now he is in half, but he will be repeating on both sides. Now, I want to add some more. This one? Okay, he looks good. Oh my gosh, my kids. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but my kids like cannot play with each other without freaking screaming at each other, and it drives me insane. Okay, so that's not half, and I want to make this easy for myself. So I'm gonna move him right here half, and then make sure I'm lined up, and about half again. Yes. Okay, so there are my lines. Now let me see. I think I want to move this guy just a little bit down. Move him. Move that guy. Maybe make you a tad smaller so I can move you. Okay, so I have my bearded dragons all laid out, but my background is looking a little lackluster. So I want to find something that's going to make these little guys stand out. So they are pretty like toned down for the most part. So I'm thinking some sort of like pattern. But I don't know what's gonna work well with them. Maybe something floral. That could be cool. But is this repeating? So a way to test if a pattern is repeating when you find an element like this is literally duplicate it and put it next to itself. And it looks like those 2 elements match up exactly. So what I'm going to do is take this one element and make it, oh, it's not a perfect square. Well, I can't use that because it's not a perfect square. Never mind. Anyways, I was going to say you can take a square and then, oh, this works. I'm not a fan of that color though. Let me change the color and then I will, oops, I like this one. Okay, cool. So once you find a square pattern and you check to make sure that that pattern does indeed, oh, that's, what? Ay, ay, ay. There we go. My shoes. Okay, so this pattern repeats. You want to make sure before you finalize your design. But again, I'm looking for those red lines on the outside of my design, and then because this is a square, I'm just going to drag it so it fits the entirety of my design. So now it is a complete square, and this is going to be my background, so I want to position it to the back. There's a shortcut way to do that, but I can't remember how, so you can just go up to that position button and select to back. You can also select these 3 buttons and then do the same thing. Oh, control bracket. Okay, cool. If you're wondering, I also want to adjust the transparency on this. I don't want to make it so bold. So I'm going to turn the transparency down to 44. And then before I set that, I actually want to change the background color of this design. changed it to like a nude pink color. I think I want to add like a few more little elements here. I'd really love to do some type of leaf like this. I think that would look super cute. I don't know it's this, but I like these. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this, but move it around. If you ever want to flip an element, you can go over to flip and it will flip it around for you. I need to like add another one, but I need to make it like come off, so I need to make sure it's straight. It's either 180 degrees or 90 degrees, and that's going to be straight. Let's find the center of this. There we go. I'm gonna put it right there and duplicate it so it's centered on the other side. And then I'm gonna move this guy. I think I'm just make him a tad smaller and wiggle him just a little bit. Make some final adjustments. Okay, so this is our final design, but we're not done yet. So with this design, you always want to add a SEO optimized title even to your images because it's searchable. So this is going to be bearded dragon wouldn't be floral, what would that be? Plant, botanical, botanical pattern, sure. Okay, then first step in creating, well, I guess this is the second step. So first step is to obviously create your design. Second step would be to share, download as a PNG file. Okay, so we're going to download this. So this is downloading into my computer. Okay, so after that downloads to my computer, I'm going to, on this same page, select add a page, and now I'm going to go into elements and type in square. Now on the top right here you can see all of these different element selections. There's graphics, photos, videos, shapes, and select this arrow to move to the right. After shapes you have audio, frames. We're going to go to frames. So you're going to go to elements and select square frames, and you want to just select a plain square frame, which is the second one right here. Find one that's a perfect square that when you expand it, it's going to fit your canvas perfectly. Now what we're going to do, we don't want it to cover up the whole square, we only want it to cover up half. So once we enlarge it to the whole size of our canvas, we're going to move it till it's in the center, and you'll know it's in the center as it kind of clicks into place, and then you also have like an outline around that shape. So you can see there's this little red line right here. Do you see that blinking? Okay, now we know it's in the center of our canvas. So that's one part of our design. Now we're going to duplicate this frame and put it right next to the other one so they are touching and there's no seams. So we have two square frames right next to each other on our number page 2 canvas. Then what we're going to do is head over to uploads and upload our design that we just created. So it's right here. Double click to upload. Okay, and once that's done uploading, we're going to click it and it's going to generate right into the center of our canvas. When I select it and I move it over the square frames that we have on both sides, it's going to basically morph into the frame. And that's what a frame does. It basically allows you to put any image into it, and then it takes the shape of that image. So we're going to put our design into one side of the square frames, and then we're going to put another copy of our design into the other side. And now we have just created a all over repeating pattern. So we can see that everything lines up nicely, the tail is nice, the body looks good, this guy's looking good, and I'm gonna do the same thing but move it up and down. Okay, so this one's coming down and this one's going up. Okay, now our design has uploaded. So we'll go back to uploads and select this second file. Okay, that one goes there, this one goes here, and that is still looking good. Now the test again, the top and the bottom. This up here, this down here, and I think we're good. I'm gonna zoom in and see how it looks. Now I can see a very, very slight line right here, but if that gets printed onto like a blanket per se, it won't be that bad. It looks like everything is decent. It's not lined up perfectly, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna move on. From far away, I think that looks pretty good. And my initial idea was to either have this on some type of blanket or some type of printed material, so a little bit off on a design that bit really you're not going to be able to see, and your customer isn't going to see. If you are that concerned, you can maybe even go back and select a different background pattern or not have a background pattern at all, or again just kind of make tiny little fixes here and there. But I think for the most part this is good. I'm going to move on. I'm going to select page number 2 to move on with and to then put into our Printify products. So I'm going to give this design a name. Okay, and then I'm going to go up to share, download, and we only want to download page number 2. That is going to be our repeating pattern for Printify. Now while that is downloading, we're going to head to Printify, and then we're going to go to Catalog, and from Catalog you're going to want to look for AOP clothing. AOP means all over print. So on a shirt or a blanket or a pair of shoes, it's literally going to be printed all over the entire design, instead of like on a t-shirt where most of your printing is in like a square area. All over print is literally all over your design, or all over your garment rather. Okay, so for example, that's what all over print looks like. It's not just a little design, it's literally covering your entire shirt. I'm trying to find something that I think our bearded dragon pattern would look cool on. Now these are all over print products. I'm going to say most of them are apparel. There are other companies that offer different all over print products. We're just doing Printify because I feel like it's the most beginner friendly, and it kind of is a good stepping stone if you're just getting into print on demand. But literally there are so many different products, especially for all over print products. Now, all over print clothing is just going to show you clothing. So if you go to catalog or you search AOP, it's going to show you not just clothing, but all of their other all over print products like blankets and backpacks, pillows, etc. For this example, like I said, I wanted to do some type of like fuzzy or like material kind of thing, desk mat, something that I think would go well with our design. So I'm gonna do, I wanna do a blanket, I think. So I'm gonna select this velveteen plush blanket. Now, when you see these two different prices here and the fact that it says from $13.43 or from $10.34, that is a base price based off of one supplier's price. So when you select any product on Printify, unless there's only one print supplier for that product, it will show you the available print providers for that specific product. For this velveteen blanket, there are only 2 print providers. So you could either go with Spoke Customs or Miami Sublimation. What I really love about Printify are these ratings that they give their suppliers. It's based off of a 4-week review. So in the past 4 weeks, this is how these shops have been performing. And then it gives you a few different kind of like check marks of what they are actually grading. So it's the quality of the products, the production speed, and then their stock reliability based off of a 10-point scoring system. So Spoke Customs has a quality of 9.7, production speed of 9, and a stock reliability of 10 out of 10. Whereas Miami Sublimation has a quality score of 7.3, but then a 10 for production speed as well as stock reliability. So for me, I am more worried about the quality of something rather than how fast it's getting to my customers. I mean, because both of these have very short production times, and I feel like the average person, when they order something, they're expecting, I mean, unless you're ordering from Amazon, like you're expecting it to come at least, you know, within a week, I feel like is an appropriate estimate for shipping for anyone ordering anything online. Again, unless you're ordering something with like next day delivery or whatever. So I'm going, for this example, we're going to go with Spoke Custom Products. Now, this says the price to produce this blanket starts at $13.43, and that's going to be for the smaller size, which is their 30-inch by 40-inch blanket. So it says that they have 3 sizes available from 30 to 40-inch to their 60 by 80-inch. So this 60 by 80-inch blanket isn't going to be that price. It's probably, I think it's like 20 something to produce. Plus then the shipping cost of $5.29. If you wanted to offer your customers free shipping, I would suggest you build that shipping cost into your retail price. Otherwise, you're going to be losing money. So we decided to go with Spoke Custom Products, so let's start designing. Now, when we get into our Printify product designer, you're going to again have this canvas, and this is where our design is going to go. Now, I have a library of designs with all of my designs that I have previously uploaded into my account. Even though I have several shops under my account, all of my files that I've uploaded show up in my library. But we want to add a new design from my device, so my computer, because that's where I saved my design. So I'm going to select this one because remember, this one and this one were the testers and this one is our pattern. If you don't remember, before you even save your designs, make sure you are labeling, naming them, saving the file as like repeating pattern, all over pattern, pattern design, just so you know when you're uploading what it is. And now this is going to upload, and right now it's adding the file to the library. So right now at this scale, it still has a high resolution of 119 dpi. I don't want it to be this scale, so I'm going to shrink it down just a tiny bit. So my DPI is still high, showing it's still showing a high resolution with a DPI of 208. But I want to move this over to the side, and then on this right here where our file is, we're going to go down to where it says create pattern, and you're going to select this, and it's going to automatically generate your file into a pattern. And ours already automatically is repeating seamless pattern because that's how we've designed it. Now if you wanted to select a variety of sizes, you could go up to select, and then here you can either select the 30 by 40, 50 by 60, or 60 by 80 blanket. I only want to, I guess let's look and see what all of these would cost if you were to produce them. Now I want to show you the difference in sizing in case you don't know off the top of your head what a 30 by 40 inch blanket is going to look like, so you can select these individually and then preview them. The 30 by 40 blanket is fairly small. Like, it would be perfect for a little kid blanket, or maybe like a pet blanket, but definitely not anything that you would sell to an adult, or, you know, like as a large like family blanket. So here is a look on the 50 by 60 blanket, and a fairly decent sized blanket. I would say a 50 by 60 blanket is like any typical like kind of throw. Like, I have one on my chair. This I got from Target. It's a 50 by 60 blanket, and like I can pull it up to me. I can cuddle up with it, but I'm also 5'2", so I'd say for like an average height person, a blanket like this would still be kind of small. So I would say this is still like kind of child size, but that's what the 50 by 60 blanket looks like size wise. And then this is the largest size that this supplier offers, which is the 60 by 80 inch blanket. And this, I believe, is on a queen size bed. It's fairly large. So I would say this is like a good size big blanket. So on a twin, it's literally hanging off the edge. So maybe that's a full, but it's a fairly large blanket. Okay, and then once everything looks good and you want to move forward, you would save your product. So select save product, and then it will take you to the mock-up and listing portion of your product. So here you are able to select the mock-ups that you want Printify to automate and display on your website or on Etsy or on your Printify pop-up shop. So you have your mock-up images, and then from there you can edit your listing title. So that's the title that I came up with. If you are utilizing Etsy to host your print-on-demand products, I would recommend searching up keywords and using those keywords in your title as well as in your description and tags. This is the generic description that Printify is going to generate for you. Sometimes I utilize ChatGPT to come up with a little bit of a different description. Otherwise, I tend to just kind of do it on my own. As you can go through, and obviously you want to read it, just because sometimes like this says customize with the one-sided print ad, like you don't want your customer to read that. So you would get rid of that, obviously. And then I would keep this just because that could be like an important thing. And usually if you have a customer complain and it was because they didn't read something in the description that is clearly there, this will save you in the long run. So I would keep these just as little bullet points, because that's how people tend to read, is like in bullet points. But I don't like this like dot and then semicolon thing, so I like to change it to dash, like bullet point things. So I am printing with Spoke, so I'm going to get rid of the rest of that. And then I'm going to say that it's printed on one side. I'll just do this. On one side of the blanket in high detail and vibrant color. And then I'm gonna get rid of this, because who the heck knows what that means, unless you like actually are, you know, a sewer or familiar with fabric weights. And then I'm gonna keep that, because again, that could be like a customer detail thing. I'm also going to space down and then add a size table description to, or a size table to my description. So it just does a width, height, and then shows what it is. After that, this is where we get into pricing. So pricing is going to be shown in US dollars only. If you need to change it, you need to go into your currency setting on the payments page via Printify. But to change the pricing of the blankets for these, I would give them individual different prices, just because they are like different sizes. And I wouldn't go to the store and pay the same price for a twin size comforter as I would for a king size comforter, because there is clearly more and less fabric. So I'm going to price mine the same way, but I still want to make a profit. So for our 30 by 40 inch blanket, right now the retail price is set for $22.38, and that gives us a profit of $8.95. It costs $13.43 to produce, and then $5.29 to ship. Again, if you want to offer free shipping to your customers, that is totally up to you. You don't have to. With the bigger blanket, the shipping is going to be more because it's a heavier item. If you have just like an overall like generic shipping price set for any type of order, like let's say $10, you know, then you're losing out $1 on this. you just have to consider that when you are pricing your items and figuring out your shipping costs. Okay, so let's price the 30-inch by 40-inch blanket. Right now it's at $22.38. I want to make a profit on this blanket knowing that shipping is like $6-7. Realistically, I think I'm gonna do $24.95. And then for this blanket, it's automatically set for a profit margin of 40%, but that gives us a retail price of $39.80 and then a profit of $15.92. I'm gonna drop this down to 35, no, 37, 37.97, sure. And then lastly, I'm gonna drop this one down significantly because shipping is already priced at like $12 for this because it's bigger. So I'm gonna do $45.95, and that still gives us a profit of $13. Because I feel like if you were to have a cost of a blanket that's $45 and then ask someone to pay, you know, another $12 in shipping, that's not super unrealistic. So yes, let's move forward. Now this, I don't have anything hooked up to anywhere, so I'm just going to save this as a draft, and then it will show up in my products. And we're gonna look for one more all over print product that we can put our pattern onto. Let's try a multifunctional diaper backpack. This backpack, personally, I think is super cool. Coming from a mom who has had multiple diaper bags, this diaper bag really just has all the nooks and crannies for all sorts of stuff you would need for your babies. And look at how wide that gets. You could have so many diapers in there, bottles, toys, extra clothes. This thing really, I think, is a great product. And the last time I bought a diaper bag was like 5 years ago, and I spent $80 on a diaper bag. So a high price for a diaper bag, you know, it's really not that uncommon. And it's got a great shipping price. The price to produce this, I think, is very fair for the product that you're getting. Again, you really would just have to see if you want to test how long the shipping is going to take. You can reach out to these providers individually and work with them individually. If you don't want to work with them through Printify, you might be able to get better pricing and better rates when it comes to your production cost and your shipping costs. But again, this is very beginner friendly when you have everything all in one place on Printify. So I'm gonna design this backpack. And we have, again, 7 different areas that we need to add our design onto. For this example, I'm going to make our design just a tiny bit smaller. So right now it's at a scale of 9.47. I'm going to copy this so I can duplicate that into all of the other areas of this diaper bag. 9 in the way. Okay, do that. Select the pattern, pocket front. Bench. 2 more areas to go, to the left side and to the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna go and preview this right away. I think it's gonna look really cool. Oh, also you can change the color of the straps. So I'm gonna show you what this looks like with the white. Just like this, very cool. But we're gonna go to where it says background color. And if you select any of these colors, it's going to change the color of your straps. If you want to match your color exactly to your design, we're going to go back to your design and I'm going to show you how we can color drop from a specific color. So I'm thinking for this particular design, I want to get the colors in this leaf. So what I'm gonna do is I need to get the color box to pop up. So I need to go to the background of this design. I just kind of moved around a few elements so I could get to the background. So once you get a plain background color, you can go up to this square, and then from here you want to select add a new color, and then you're going to select this little eyedropper, and this is going to allow you to pick a color directly from your design. So I'm going to bring it over to where this leaf is, and I think I want to do like a darker green color. It's literally pixel by pixel that you're selecting. Okay, I think I like that color. So once you have the color that you selected, don't go back to your designing yet. You're going to copy this color code right here, and then you're going to add it into where you can add your own color for your background. And now it's going to put that color as the strap color as opposed to the gray that we selected. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. I really love that green. Oh, that looks so cute. I think all over repeating patterns do really well on like these kind of products versus like apparel, but maybe that's just me, but I think this is so cute. That's adorable. Love it. But that is how you make an all over repeating pattern all on Canva. Again, if you want to use Canva for 30 days free, there's a link in my bio. Also, if you want to get started with your own print-on-demand shop, head down to the link and you can open up a new absolutely free Printify account. If you have any questions or want me to design something specific in the next video, leave a comment down below and we'll design it together. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, remember to be a rebel and go against the norms of making money online at home. And I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching.